Sure shot, baby!
So, good day, everyone. We're here for another episode of the DVD show. So, for today, we have one of the great guards of DLSU in this past generation, and he won two championships with the Green Archers before now moving on to the TNT Tropang Giga in the PBA. And he also won a championship with Coach Chot in the recently concluded conference. And I'll now welcome here to the DVD show, Kib Montalbo. Thank you for joining me here on my podcast.
Thank you for having me, bro.
So, to start things off, alam ko naman na ngayon lahat lang tayo nasa bahay halos the whole time and we're
Yeah.
stuck at home. So, gusto ko lang tanungin kung how are you doing, like your family and you yourself. Like, I know you're also recovering from an injury and you haven't played this conference yet.
Yeah, so far I'm okay. Yun lang pa-practice na dapat ako on the day that we canceled everything.
Oh,
So
okay.
right now I'm just trying to pick up the pieces and trying to do what I can
Mm,
while at home, like just lifting. Yun lang talaga magawa so far now. So I'm just trying to find ways to really get in shape para by the
mm,
time we go back to practice, I'm ready. It's hard. It's kind of hard since Um, coming off an injury ako eh. So it's a
mm.
different, parang dapat tuloy-tuloy yun eh.
Oh, my rhythm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, we'll see.
Yeah, and yun nga, yung team nyo, hindi pa masyadong magaling. Like, you guys lost to NLEX. I think nahirapan kayo against Trainer Shine. So, what's your assessment of the team so far? Na yun, nahirapan pa pala kayo kasi you changed imports already dahil Mackenzie Moore was injured. Yeah, so what's your thoughts on the team so far?
Um, I think we just need a little bit more of familiarizing since there's a lot of new players coming in like import, si Aaron, si Gab, si CBC, like we got new guys sa team. So,
Mm,
may ano yan eh, like familiarity with who you play with. Unlike sa bubble na we really knew who we're playing with since we had a
mm,
training camp back then. But now we
mm,
didn't have that luxury of training.
mm,
We came off the bubble, just a few weeks break, then back to training. But nagsa-start na yung season nun.
mm.
So that's part of the adjustment actually. So day by day, we're just trying to improve each game and um, we're trying to be complete soon. Yeah.
So, yun nga, you mentioned na yung players nyo were great additions to the team and yun, you got to find your rhythm. So, how about with your opponents naman? Like, you've seen other teams like NLEX, they're really good now with KJ McDaniels and Magnolia and even Meralco, they've been good. So, ano yung mga siguro things sa team ng TNT except or is it more of just continuing to find your rhythm through continuous games? Pwede niyong baguhin siguro para mabot niyo yung level nung laro nila so far this conference.
Um, you have the saying that just keep on getting better each day. Eh. So even if we lose, like we gotta be better the next day. Yun lang yung mentality going forward. Since yun nga, we're not complete and really don't have the luxury time of having a training camp or training.
Mm.
Uh, so yeah, we just approach it day by day, improve each day, and we'll see how it goes.
Sige. So before we continue with your career in TNT, syempre I'd want to ask first about your like mga upbringing and childhood and where you started, to give the audience a bit of a glimpse kasi syempre di naman lahat ng audience familiar kung saan ka nanggaling. So maybe you could talk about your upbringing and childhood kung where did you grow up and was basketball actually your first love or did you try other sports when you were growing up before falling in love with basketball?
Okay, so I came from Bacolod City. I started playing basketball when I was 8, but it wasn't my first sport. My first sport was swimming. And
Mm,
mm, lagi ako nagbi-billiards kasi we had a billiard table sa house. So, yun
mm,
yung lagi ko nilalaro. But then, uh, I saw my dad in his club. Just
Mm.
what do you call this? Alam mo yung laro-laro lang.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pero mga intercolor tournaments. So they have this tournaments
Mm.
and pagda-drafting sila. So ganun. So different teammates lagi. So I always watch. So doon nag-start yung hilig ko sa basketball. Tapos pag time out and halftime, like nag-shoot ako
Mm.
kasama yung mga fellow kids din ng teammates niya. So doon
Mm.
nagsimula yung hilig ko sa basketball. Pero I was really training for swimming. But on the day on the day of the competition, hindi ako sumipot kasi gusto ko
Mm.
manood kay papa ko na manood
Mm.
na maglalaro ng basketball sa Iloilo noon. So I trained so hard for swimming, then on the day of the competition, I didn't show up. Because I wanted to watch basketball. Just watch, not
Yeah,
even
yeah.
play. So yeah, doon ko I think nalaman na I really wanted basketball.
Okay. So nung you were starting to play, syempre yung mga ibang tao, when they're starting to play, doesn't necessarily mean na, they want to really pursue it. Baka mamaya for like a few years lang and then masasawa sila and then they'll try another sport again. So in your whole like, teenage years, I guess, kailan mo nalaman na you wanted to, do it here in the Manila also and play collegiate ball and eventually professional?
Uh, I think when we kind of receive offers of parang studying here sa Manila.
Mm.
May si Papa kasi lahat nag-ano nun eh. Parang he takes all in the offers and I just play.
Yeah, yeah.
Pero I think the discipline that he instilled in me, like sleeping early, not really going out that much. Parang kay Devin Booker na story, like
Yeah, yeah.
kung somewhere like just training, parang focus talaga sa may there's a price eh. So there's a sacrifice that you have to pay
Mm.
when you really focus on the game, the training
Mm.
that you put in, the work that you put in, the hours.
Mm.
So it's gonna cost you like hindi naman siya nag-cost ng friendship, but
Yeah, yeah.
it limits the time to everything else. And usually I have my training 4 to 6 after school.
Mm.
And sumasama pa ako sa kay papa ko sa club nila after like 6 to 8.
Mm.
So tuloy-tuloy yun. So I think that gave me an edge sa training kasi I had extra time and yung kalaban ko mga former college players eh. So they're really veterans na. So that helped
Mm.
me get an edge to my
Mm.
opponents.
And then yung sa paglalaro nga sa province or sa Bacolod, can you explain siguro sa mga tao kung if it's difficult or more difficult or challenging to actually get recruited here in Manila compared to siguro kung Xavier ka na naglaro or Lasal Green Hills or Zobel, parang mas mapapanood ka na nila dito. But then if you're in the province, isn't it more difficult for you guys to be recruited or be discovered by these scouts?
There was this what do you call this? There was a plan eh. There was a plan that was set by my head coach, si Coach Dexter D, and sila Papa. It was their
Mm.
plan na parang be the big fish in a small pond rather than a big fish in a big pond.
Oh, okay, okay.
So that was their plan sa akin. So like I gotta dominate Bacolod so that people will really look at me. And like
Mm.
here, even if you have the numbers, pero
Mm.
there's a lot of players here that are really good at that
Mm.
time. So I think it worked.
Yeah, for sure it worked. Pero for the people curious about your playing style naman in Bacolod, ano yung style mo doon? Like, kasi here, when you moved here, people already knew you as a shooter or a defensive
I wasn't a
top.
shooter. I wasn't a shooter before. No,
So what was your play style
malayo
before?
shooting. I was a slasher, attacker. I didn't play defense that much, but my anticipation was good.
Mm.
I tend to rest on defense kasi
Mm.
offensive player talaga ako. I play 1 to 5 sa Bacolod kasi matangkad
Oh,
ako
okay.
sa Bacolod eh.
Mm.
So, I have a big man who's 6 footer. So, ako
Mm.
yung next.
Mm.
So, 1 2 3 4 5 talaga. When I rebound the ball, I'm the point guard na.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Versatile,
so I play
versatile
one to
player.
five. Yeah. In Bacolod. Here, I'm
Yeah,
really small.
yeah,
Especially in
yeah.
the PBA.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
agree naman. But then since you mentioned that already, and I wanted to ask naman, syempre yung buhay dito sa Manila different. How about you adjusting to the life here in Manila in terms of maybe your everyday life, like living in the dorm in La Salle, and I don't know if how it is in Bacolod, but then was it
Yeah.
a massive adjusting period for you, or was it smooth naman from to going to La Salle?
It was smooth, since smooth and hard at the same time. Hard, because I wasn't with my family anymore. I lived by
Mm,
myself. Pero the next year, my sister was here, was on the other room. Pero the fact
mm,
that you're not with your parents, you're forced to really live an independent life, like
mm,
clean the room,
mm,
cook, eat,
mm,
find ways to live. But then smooth, because Boss Danding and the whole managers made it easy for us. So like we have a dorm who gives us food
mm,
and gives us what we need and more than enough. So I'm really grateful to all of them for all the help that they did to players. So we got everything. We got good food, good coaches, good managers. So all you gotta do is perform and play.
mm. Well, how about before going to like the basketball side of it? I think you decided to still, graduate with I know in La Salle, even if you're playing in the PBA. Like I think you were
Yeah.
even joining classes when you were in the bubble in Clark. So
Yeah, I did. I did.
yeah, how important is that for you? Like maybe your parents also had a huge influence on you on continuing to finish your education despite
Yeah.
being a professional player.
Yeah. Kasi basketball's not forever eh. And
Mm,
I gotta finish my degree and it was in business management. I just finished it last year.
mm,
Parang before the day on the championship, the day on the way on the day that we won the championship, I received my diploma. So yeah, it's really
wow. Okay.
important to balance it out and really learn as much as you can aside from basketball. Besides
Yeah,
basketball, yeah.
that's for sure. It's an integral way of still enhancing your skills in other ways, and like, when you retire, you could still use the degree to something and still continue earning even if you're
Yep.
not playing
Yep.
basketball anymore. But then going back to the basketball side of it, I think LaSalle had a tough time after their championship with Coach Franz in 2007, and then the next reign they had was already in that time when you were there in
2013,
2013.
yeah.
Yeah, was it tough for you? I mean, did you guys have Coach G the whole time and then bigla si Coach Juno na? So as a player, isn't it difficult
Yeah.
to
It
adjust
was
bigla to a new system?
well, I was a rookie back then, so I really didn't know how things work. I was just
Mm-hmm.
feeling everything out. So I think 3 weeks now or 1 month with Coach G. Then it was Coach Juno na. So from the start that I from the s- from the time that I started playing here sa Manila, it was that type of life, like adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
Since I had four coaches,
Mm-hmm.
so I kind of got used to it and really putting in the work on what the coaches want you to do, what they need from you, and just doing
Mm-hmm.
your job.
Mm-hmm. So how did you have that mindset naman na always having a open mind and adjusting your role whenever the coach, gives you an assignment? Like for instance, in Bacolod, it might have been tough since there you were
Yeah,
the star, a scorer, but then here
yeah.
you need to do something else. So how did you have that mindset of always being accepting?
It was tough at first, but I think I cried or in my bed like parang I don't know what to do na kasi I really didn't have the playing time and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't parang I didn't know how to play anymore kasi ang gagaling
Mm-hmm.
na dito eh.
Mm-hmm.
Pero I didn't see that potential at first. But
Mm-hmm.
then sinabi ni Papa na ano ba yung kulang sa team? Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
I think defense. Then play defense.
Yeah.
So there, na bago yung parang perspective ko. Like I gotta play defense. Like I gotta find
Mm-hmm.
ways for coach to put me in. Like provide energy, ano ba yung kulang. Like all the little things. Kasi yung little things, all those are just effort eh. So not
Mm-hmm.
everybody likes that, all those little things like giving a good pass, details on the
Mm-hmm.
pass, details. but I'm not a really good passer before. I just to work on it now. Pero
Mm,
yeah, like defending, diving for loose balls, provide energy, just running. All those little things matter, especially sa mga coaches, and they appreciate that type of effort. And I think mm, just willingness to compete out there.
mm.
Kahit sa practice, kahit sa PS5 eh. If you play
Oh,
against me sa 2K, man, if you beat me, it's not
oh.
over. I'm just really a competitive person ever since.
Mm,
So no matter who you are, even if you're LeBron James, I won't be afraid of you. I know it's a really
mm.
big mismatch, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna put the fight.
Yeah,
It's never
try,
an
you never
option.
know.
Yeah, it's never an
Yeah.
option to give up, even if
Yeah.
the odds are really against you. Like
Mhm.
as a person, I really don't care about the odds. I just want to fight and keep on
Mhm.
fighting, even if I can't fight anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a great mentality that you have, and that's why you get a lot of minutes, even if the stat sheet siguro it's not as impressive. Off night ka, hindi ka makashoot, but then you do the hustle plays and
Yeah.
you're able to contribute in other facets of for the team. But
Yeah.
then with that style of play, meron ka bang mga idols like locally or internationally that you look up to in terms of that aspect of your game, na all out effort all the time?
So, parang through the years, it keeps on changing on who I look up to. And pero lahat naman, I really appreciate everyone, especially sa NBA. NBA, like
Mm.
I really look up to them. Right now, I love the game of Alex Caruso.
Oh yeah.
His
Mm.
defense and his IQ, talino talaga. Who else ba?
Mm.
Steph, I love Steph.
Yeah.
Mm, I love Steph in a way na he screens. He's a very good teammate. He cheers on the
Mm.
bench. He's a good leader.
Mm.
Um, he's really a good teammate. So, isa yan sa mga reason na I really idolize him kasi being a good teammate is a rare find. Like
Mm.
a superstar who's really cheers from the bench,
Mm.
motivates you, uh, screens for you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all those little things. Who else do I looked up to? Drew Holiday.
Ayun, si
I
Drew, yeah.
really look up to that dude. Like I wanna be like that. Like 3 and D point guard.
Yeah, yeah.
Diba it's hard to
Mm.
find a 3 and D point guard.
Mm. Yun nga,
So
you
yeah.
mentioned a lot about your defense, and even the people you idolize are defensive stalwarts. But then you mentioned also yung IQ, and for some defenders, they could hustle a lot, but then yung awareness nila and yung IQ nila hindi ganun kataas. But then for you, how did you develop that year by year na yung anticipation mo, yung IQ mo, and when to reach, when not to reach, when to take a
I
charge, when not
watch
to take a charge? How did you develop that?
I watch films. Um, I watch individual tendencies. Aside from the team's practice, like I really have someone who helps me with that.
Mm-hmm.
All those videos. I just study the game almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
Try to pick out each opponent, what they want to do, where they want to go.
Mm-hmm.
If I jam them here, what do they want to do?
Mm-hmm.
So, I learned it din kay Caruso eh. He always
Yeah.
watches films and just really
Mm-hmm.
observes the greats like LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
So, sinabi pa nga doon na Alex Caruso na kahit yung mga coaches na scout ni ano eh ni LeBron eh like he
Mm-hmm.
knows what the coaches want to do.
Yeah.
So the fact that he knows that like he really studies everyone. So I'm
For
trying to
sure.
incorporate that here like wherein I study everyone, study as much
Mm.
as I can. It's an edge eh, and study
Mm.
how I play, what my mistakes are, what I need to improve. I think it's a big factor on my recent season. 'Cause I'm really willing to study the game and
Mhm.
focus on film. It's boring at times, but I love it. I
Yeah, yeah.
enjoy watching film.
Yeah. When you check out these players, like lalo na sa PBA, ang daming mga magagaling na one-on-one players. So sino yung mga players that when you rec watching them, you're excited to play them just because they're good and you wanna have a chance to, yun nga, even if you're
Yeah,
already losing or you already think they're more skilled than you don't wanna give up until the bitter end. So
yeah.
who are those players and why do you think you're like standing up to play with them every day?
So yeah, Terrence Romeo. He's really crafty with the ball. He's a very
Mm,
good offensive player. So I'm really challenged pag nakakalaban ko siya because he's just one of the best guards here in the Philippines.
mm,
Also, Stanley Pringle, si Bolek.
mm. Bowling.
Gao, he's really good and
Yeah.
strong also. So I
Mm,
look forward to playing against him again. Who else? I enjoy competing against my teammate, Kuya Ryan Reyes, the Energizer.
mm, mm-hmm,
He's just so good on defense, and
mm,
I gotta learn that skill from him. He has good
mm,
anticipation, very good anticipation, and
mm.
just I don't know, he's just his instincts are just off the charts. Good.
Okay. So yeah, you mentioned that you wanted to learn from some of the greats, but like even in the NBA, like Caruso, Drew, and even Ryan
Yeah.
Reyes. So even if you're like maybe anyone could argue that you are could be like an all defensive player in the PBA. What are the other things that you could still improve on for you, or is it just constant watching of film and continuing to learn the tendencies of the players? What are the other things for you?
Right now I'm really focused on wanting to be the best
Mm,
on what I do, like being a point guard, being a facilitator,
mm,
defense, threes, and just working on my game each day. Just putting in
mm,
the work outside of practice and just incorporating everything I can sa system namin, sa
mm,
dribble drive system.
mm,
So like just like Kobe, I keep on watching Mamba films. Eh.
mm,
Just constantly watching it, like his
mm,
mentality. Like I also made a deal to myself, and now it's 13. Yeah, how many years? 12 years difference, 12 years gap. But I hope I can make up to it.
yeah.
That I made a deal with myself that I want to be the best. So yeah, let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, and how about with you mentioned that you found a role initially Kagad in your rookie season in LaSalle, and you guys won the championship. And I had Jason Perkins on the pod, and he was saying that you guys were very close. It was one a key factor, even if
Yeah.
UST was pretty strong and you were able to beat them. But for you, since you were still a rookie, how did you like become? Were you like a sponge and you were learning from these players? And
Yep.
how was it like learning from like AVO, Jeron, LA Revilla, everyone?
Um, I'm really blessed to have good seniors. Like, cause I had much to learn when I was a rookie. I made lots of mistakes. But even if when I do that, like they really approach me on what I need to do, or sige lang, okay lang yan. Then
Mm,
this is what you need to do on offense and on defense. So just yun nga, sabi mo, like be a sponge. Even till now, I'm a
mm,
sponge. Or kahit pagtanda ko, I will always be a sponge. Learning
mm,
never stops. Once I stop learning, then that's the end of me in
mm,
basketball or even in life. Like no matter
mm,
who you are, there's always much to learn. Like you will never parang di ka talaga mapupuno ng info eh. Like you just gotta be sponge wherever you go, wherever life takes you.
mm. So how about with the team? What other factors do you think was integral in you guys that differentiated you
Again,
from
again,
the
again.
other
Sorry.
from the team from LaSalle, from the seven
Yeah,
other schools that you guys were going
yeah.
against? What separated you guys from winning it all that year, even if you were not really? I think
In
like people didn't
2013,
really expect you to win. Yeah.
I think yung samahan namin, we had a bond. We were just
Mm,
13 and we were in the dorm. So we really had a bond and connection with each other. We were close. We used to eat together as a team. So all those little factors really affect the chemistry of the team. And we got good coaches and
mm,
Chila Jeron. We have good veterans like LA, Arnold, Norbert, Jason, and
mm-hmm,
they were just balling out there. Kami ni
mm,
Bolik nun nung sa last game, game 3, we're just praying na we're gonna do everything we can to what do you call this, cheer on the team, pray for the
mm,
team, and just all out cheering lang talaga. And if coach gives us a chance to foul, to foul. So we're gonna
Yeah.
do that to the best of our, especially me. Like even if coach puts me in like for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, like I'm gonna put out my best in that 10 seconds, 15 seconds to foul.
Mm-hmm.
So just man, every second Coach Juno gives me, like I appreciate it, and parang I'll bring out the best in me sa ganun. Sa 10
Mm-hmm.
seconds lang yun.
Yeah. How about the transition period naman, yung DLSU before you guys won again in 2016? Wasn't it tough for you also? And maybe you could share the experience of your career, since I think that's when you suffered an injury and you
Yeah,
were recovering and then eventually came back. How was it like for you, recovering from that? And what were
yeah.
the hardships that you encountered?
Oh, ACL was a tough year. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I had difficulties with my range of motion. Even nung pagbalik ko, like I really didn't have that motion on my knees wherein I couldn't bend that much.
Mm-hmm.
So parang medyo half bend lang siya kasi I had problems I think with my ankle. So yeah, it was tough, but again, just coming in and day out, just competing and working on the things that you need to improve. And
Mm-hmm.
nung nung time na yun na pagbalik ko, it was really defense. Like Coach Alden uh stresses defense a lot. Every day in practice, we bump each other, full court press. So we got used to it, and eventually it made me who I am today, like the defense.
Mm-hmm. How about the mental struggles? Were you struggling in that aspect when you were injured, or do you have that optimistic mindset that you'd eventually get back on the court and still become a force on the defensive end?
Oh, I don't have problems when it comes to mindset. Like
Mm,
whatever happens to me, I embrace it. And like the day on the na-injury ako na ACL ako. Kasi
mm,
at that time, 2015, like syempre medyo ACL, medyo delikado na eh. Like it wasn't
mm.
like now na parang
Yeah.
ACL kaya-kaya. Alam mo
Mm,
kahit masakit pa rin, like iba yung tingin nung dati eh,
yeah.
2015. So yes, pero sabi ko sa sarili ko na I'm gonna come back from this for sure. So
Mm,
and I wanted to come back. I'm gonna show everyone that I can come back. So I'm that type of person. The more doubt you put in me, the more I'll succeed.
yeah.
I
I agree.
actually, I actually look sa mga social media sa mga hate eh. Like, I really want people to hate me.
Para ganahan ka.
Kasi that's my fuel talaga. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta find ways for people. Like, even the little details na sabihin nila, like, I
Mm,
save it. I screenshot
mm,
it.
okay.
So, it's in my files. Mga sinasabi nila. And
Mm.
it always pushes me. So, the more you hate me, the more I like it.
Yeah, that's great mindset. That's how you accept especially now
Yeah.
in social media, people are
Yeah.
like saying random stuff that don't make sense, and then they
Yeah.
realize it in the end.
Even if you do good things, like people will still hate you. So, you gotta
Yeah,
love the hate.
yeah, for sure, for sure. But then you mentioned Coach Alden already, and I love that whole iteration of Lasal. Like every game, para look forward to it. Kahit sino yung kalaban, I'm really ready to watch. Kahit tatambahan niyo kasi ang galing niyo yung time na yun. But then yung interesting ako is like yung practices niyo, and how did you guys receive it na when you guys knew na he was gonna be your coach, and then syempre practice muna yan, ang tagal ng training camp niyo and nahihirapan kayo. How was the process like preparing for the season na talagang yun, sinasabi mo kanina, everyone goes hard in practice, you guys play physical, minsan nagkakainitan pa. How was it like for you?
How was it like? Hey, we enjoy it. We were
Mm-hmm.
college and we were just living there, sa dorm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tiring, but at the same time, we really love what we do. So I don't know with
Mm-hmm.
other players, but for me, like I really love training. I really love this. I really love this game. Um, the more harder to practice, like the more I like it. Probably
Mm-hmm.
not the case before. But
Mhm.
now I really love practice. It's wherein you practice what you can do sa
Mm.
game.
Yeah, and in the mayhem defense of Coach Alden, it's also integral to be in condition. So for you, how hard was the conditioning of Coach Alden? Like not only like the plays or the schemes in defense or offense, but I'm pretty sure he tried to do things to make you guys in condition to prepare for what he wants you guys to do on the court.
We did ovals. Oh, yeah, we were running sa ovals but we didn't know that time because we were just practicing it. Like if you think about it, kasi it may affect your mentality or something or mindset. But if you just practice, go through it, it's gonna be tiring. Like come into practice and you're not gonna be tired. You're not doing your job, diba?
Mm.
So day in and day out, when you come to practice, expect to be tired. So I
Mm-hmm.
think yun lang yung nagpakondisyon sa amin. Nakakapagod naman kasi talaga.
Mm.
Pero I think that got us into good shape pagdating sa season. Like we're in pressure whole game.
Mm. How about the confidence Coach Alden gives? I mean, I see like even in UST and even in LaSalle, you guys have the freedom to shoot outside
Yeah.
shots and basta masunod yung system, meron siya mga plays that give you the guys to showcase your talent. So, ikaw nag-increase naman ba yung confidence mo during his time? Like, you had those crucial threes I remember in the final four
Yeah.
and even in the finals.
Um, yeah, we had a green light to shoot because we had shot charts din eh.
Mm.
Like before practice we need to do shots. Confidence is not based only on the coaches. Like even if the coaches gives you the green light and if you don't put in the work, like that confidence is gonna go down. So
Mm-hmm.
confidence comes from practice and the hours that you put in the game, the hours that you shoot the ball, dribble the ball. So that's where I get my confidence. And also
Yeah.
that confidence that God has given me that He's always in control and my family right behind my back supporting me whatever I do.
Mm-hmm.
So all those little things matter when it comes to confidence. So yeah.
Yeah, and how about that? How about the defense in Mayhem? Like, of course, when you get steals, it increases also your confidence because you get easy layups, and then demoralize yung opponents. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that happened a lot in the 2016 and 2017. But then, for you, ano yung key ingredient or key factors on why how you guys bought into like the Mayhem defense and you guys caused a lot of chaos despite siguro structured pa din
Yeah.
yung Mayhem, you guys had like principles to follow. Pero pag sa game, parang nagugulo yung buong game tapos nagpapanik na yung kalaban niyo.
Parang our mindset back then was parang make the team really tired or just give up
Mm-hmm.
because of the suffocating press. So
Mm-hmm.
yun yung talaga yung main goal of it, just to suffocate them sa press namin.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that was really great. But ikaw, do you really think that you flourish under that kind of system? Because I know based from my observation, like your playing style, maganda yun when you get a lot of steals and you get
Yeah.
easy baskets and run and gun talaga yun yung takbuhan.
Yeah. I think that parang started kung sino talaga ako. And
Mm-hmm.
I saw myself as, oh, I can play defense and I can be good at it. Parang ganun. So
Mm-hmm.
all I needed to do was to really build on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how about the depth of that team? You mentioned that you guys want to try to suffocate nga these opponents. So, syempre, pag hindi
Yeah.
naman malalim yung bench ng team, mahirap yun dahil, I don't know, syempre pag second unit nyo,
Yeah.
mahirap. Pero that team had like a third string players that were good.
Yeah.
Like Balti, I think, was third
Yeah,
string
Balti
pa
was
nung
there.
year na yun. Yeah,
Yes. The
yeah, but
Richie or Brent.
yeah.
Oh
How
yeah,
would
that
you
team was
say the
deep.
success of that team was great in terms of maybe the depth and how great was for you guys?
I was just competing in practice. It all starts in practice. Just not parang di talaga papatalo eh, whether in the first group or in the third group. Like when we play scrimmage, well, it's different if you're with Ben. Pero kahit si Ben, nararamdaman niya rin kami. Pero
Mm-hmm.
matigas talaga. Pero
Mm-hmm.
just being competitive in practice, all starts in practice. Then pagdating sa game, it just shows na on how we work in practice.
Mm. How about yung pagiging ready niyo naman? Like, siyempre 'pag nananalo kayo minsan parang tuloy-tuloy na lang and it's kinda hard to still remain motivated and, continue succeeding at a high level. But then that season, you guys only lost one game, I think, and then you
Yeah.
guys won the championship in 2016. And you guys had, yeah, Mbala and Teng that time. So yeah, how do you remain motivated? How did Coach Alvin, did he give you like new challenges every day to continue still trying to reach that?
Oh well, when it comes to losses, even anywhere, it's not really a loss. Like it's a learning process, I call
Mm-hmm.
it. So I really don't lose, but I learn. So whatever happens in that game is done with. Then we just move on the next day and watch film on what we need to improve, and then move on.
Mm-hmm.
We can't be stuck there in the past and just dwell on what we did wrong
Mm-hmm.
during those losses. Pero we really have to move on. If not, we're gonna break.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And it's kind of tough na to have that mindset. I mean, especially if you dwell too much on those losses. Maybe like a day or two is fine, but then you need to
Yeah,
find a game plan in order to
a night,
counter.
the night of
Yeah.
the loss. It's tough, pero you have to move on the next day. For me, I have to move on. Like it's tough, especially
Mm-hmm.
yung game 3 na shot ni Isaac. Ako pa
Mm-hmm.
nag-challenge dun. It was tough, but then you gotta move forward.
Yeah, and you talked about that season already in 2017. You guys didn't have Jaron, Julian, Jason, and Thomas, I think, but you guys were still formidable, and you guys had still a tough team. But then, and the
Yeah.
favorites also to win it since you guys still had Ben. So through that year, how was that like that season? Was it similar to 2016, like all throughout the year before the finals when the unfortunate ending occurred?
Uh, it was same concept, same preparation.
Mm-hmm.
But we faced a tough team. Ateneo was tough under Coach Tab.
Mm-hmm.
They really had a good system also, and it was a free for all on game 3.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever Ateneo got it, but yun nga, we had all the same preparation and everything. We were prepared entering that season, and it just didn't go the way that it was supposed to be. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Sana nga. Akala ko talaga panalo na yung Lasal
yeah,
that
it's
series.
alright.
Sayang lang talaga. But then I'm also curious about your defense on Jerick, Anisi, and 30 that season. And I
Yeah.
remember like you'd stick to them kahit free throw yung kakampi mo or kalaban nyo. Nakadikit ka na sa kanila para ready na. So, how was
Ah,
that like? Siyempre, minsan yung iba ayaw gawin yun kasi napipiko and you don't want to give them space. Pero ikaw, you're just doing your job. You're not doing anything dirty. You're just being a pesky defender. So how did you
yeah.
develop that over the course of the whole game na, you stick to them, try their best kahit mapikon sila sa'yo, wala ka namang ginagawang mali.
I didn't I didn't plan that. It was just all instincts na just wanting to win, just wanting to
Mm.
stop them. Kasi if they get hot, they can really provide numbers for their team.
Mhm.
And just being competitive also, like just want to win. And I
Mhm.
gotta do everything that I can uh,
Mhm.
sa basketball to
Mm.
really find a way. I gotta find a way to really stop them, whether being
Mhm.
pesky, but never dirty, never dirty. I'm just a
Mm.
physical player, pesky, pero nakakaasar talaga.
Mm. Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, even if they get
Mm.
pissed off, it's just in the court. Like I don't take it personal.
Mhm. So how about ending those two players, or maybe you could even, I don't know, add any other players that you have in the UAB? What made them tough, especially? I think Jarek, yeah, when he goes on a streak, he could convert like five in a row
Yeah,
threes
the
and be
screens that you have to go
enemy.
through kay Jerick,
Oh, okay.
it's
How about the others?
madami kang dadaanan na screen, and he just moves all the time. and with 30, he's just so strong. Especially the 2017 year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I kind of parang nilo-look up ko nga siya kasi with his build, like I wanted to get strong also. Kasi yung
Mm-hmm.
gap from 2016 to 17, iba yung katawan niya. He just put in the work sa gym.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a big difference because the stronger you are, the more things that you can do sa court. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm really focused on strength training right now.
Ah, okay, okay.
So
So
yeah, I
yeah.
kind of paved that way.
Mm-mm. So when you mentioned also in Bacolod that you weren't really a great shooter yet, you were joking kanina na di ka pa marunong and you were a
Yeah,
slasher. Pero
even if you ask Almond, niloloko nila ako dati na walang shooting yan. Because I really
okay.
can't shoot. I really can't shoot. Even if I shoot, then probably chamba lang siguro. When I was a rookie,
Uh,
ah,
yeah.
I really can't shoot that much. My percentage is low, like below 20s. It's not.
So what
It's
was your
low.
routine like in continue in being improving that? Kasi syempre nung maybe third or fourth year mo sa Lasal and even in the fifth and now in PBA, pag kinik out sa'yo, you could make it kahit may close out na maganda or
Just,
even pull up, meron ka na rin.
just putting up the shots in practice. Putting up the
So what,
shots.
what's
It's as
your routine
simple as
like?
that.
How do you do it? Like what, 500
Oh,
a day? Yeah, until now. Mm.
just before and after practice lang eh. But now, during the off season last time, I used to wake up at 5 or 4:30, then
Mm-hmm.
put some shots in already.
Mm-hmm.
Then I used to train 4 times a day.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
trying to reach Kobe, trying to reach that 3 a.m. level, but hopefully I can get it. It's so hard.
Yeah. But then,
But
did you have any like special coach for your shooting, or was it only you, like your initiative to do it on your own and
I have my
try
trainer.
different
I have my trainer, and
mm,
it's just putting up the shots, like daming shots talaga. And also in practice, I come there really
mm,
early, just to work
mm,
on dribbling, passing, shooting. Then after practice, I work on it also,
mm-hmm.
and I trying to
How?
balance everything out with my health,
Mm, yeah.
on how tired I am, then focus on what I eat
Mm-hmm.
and taking care of my body.
Yeah. How about LaSalle? Like now they have a lot of new recruits, and I'm pretty sure you checked the team out. Like what's up with Coach Derek and all the other players. Balti's still there, Waki's still there. I think Kurt's still there,
Yeah,
and they're trying to build a really great squad in order to try and
yeah,
try and beat Ateneo this season since they didn't make the final for the past 2 years. And you were there, I think, in the second to the year before, or with Coach Louis. But the team now, what do you think they could do, or what are you excited about to see them? And then of course, going up against Ateneo, UP, and all these other schools.
well, medyo konti na lang yung kilala ko eh.
Yeah.
Konti na lang natira dun. Pero
Mm.
yeah, I used to talk with Kurt, not used, but I always talk to Kurt because we
Mm.
play Call of Duty together.
Mm.
Then we see each other naman. Sila Kuden,
Cool. Yeah.
sila, yeah, Balti's there, Waki's there. Who else is
Yeah.
there? Basta all those guys. Pero
Yeah.
what was your question again?
What are you excited about with the team, and what are you looking forward
Oh,
to see from them?
I'm looking forward on what they can do to court. Just bringing that intensity college basketball back. Especially the crowd. I miss the crowd. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't played with the crowd since last year, bro. Like oh, so it's been 2 years
Yeah.
without crowd. So I'm looking forward to that and what they can
Mm.
do, what they can really offer Salasal, and just have that
Mm-hmm.
animal spirit alive.
Yeah. So yeah, moving on to your PBA career, you were already getting drafted by you got drafted by TNT. And how was it like entering draft day? Like what were your expectations for you? Where did you think you were gonna go? And did you know that you were gonna have a role in a defensive player then similar to Lasal?
Oh, I didn't think about any of that. Like I didn't even know if I can make it to the PBA because no one really messaged me or inquired about me sa draft.
Mm.
It was I practice. I went to practice a Blackwater, but it was me, I think, or my agent. Then TNT texted me the day on the draft, the
Mm.
morning of the draft, to come practice with them. So that was my
Oh.
only time. That was the only time na may nag-message sa akin na PBA team to practice with them. And
Mm.
it was a day. It was on the draft day itself. So we got draft
Mm.
day at 4, then practice was at 9. So I went to
Wow.
practice there.
Mm.
So, but I didn't have the assurance that they'll get me because
Mm.
they were first round eh, first round 11 pick at or
Mm.
yeah 11 pick or ninth, yeah 11th. So I
Mm.
really didn't know where I would go. So it was a blessing, and thank God I got na-pick ako ng first round. I'm so blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were great already in the first bubble na sinayangan lang kayo with Coach Mark and you lost to Hinebra. Pero you were
yeah,
already getting minutes kahit limited lang and you
yeah.
were finding
But
your
I was
role.
injured
For,
just
yeah,
sa start eh. I
plantar fasciitis, yun ba yun? I think.
I pulled my plant. I pulled it. Napunit pala. I
Yeah.
plantar fast. Yeah, I tear. There's a tear in my
Mm.
plantar. So yeah, couldn't play.
Yeah, that conference was great. Pero I'd want to talk about the following conference naman, yung mas recent, yung nanalo talaga kayo ng championship. So with Coach Chot at the helm, and you mentioned nga na you were asking if when I interviewed him before and stuff. So how did you develop that trust from him na, you ikaw na yung naging starting point guard pa nga eh. I mean, Jason plays more pa rin siguro than you in some games. Pero ikaw na yung nagsa-start on Chris Ross or on all these players. Ikaw yung initial defender nila. Si Jason, limited minutes hanggang playoffs. So yeah, yung trust yung curious ako yung kasi syempre sophomore ka pa lang nun.
Um, just put in the work. Like the coach has to see you put in the work in practice. I really approach practice parang game eh. Oo,
Mm.
nag-aalaga ako pero like I really put effort when it comes to practice and just gaining their trust each second they put me in.
Mm.
So even if they play me 1 minute, yung sinabi ko nga kanina, 10 seconds,
Yeah.
20 seconds, I'm gonna give my best in the 10 seconds.
Mm.
I want them to trust me on those 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Because if they can't trust me in that 1 minute, like how can I even play, right?
Mm.
If they can't trust you for the 24-second shot clock on
Yeah.
one possession, then how can they even trust you?
Mhm.
So every time that was my mentality talaga. Like even if I don't play, like
Mhm.
I know at any point, at any time, you'll never know that they're gonna put you in. And once they're gonna put you in, you gotta be ready. Like I mean,
Mm.
totally ready. Like 100% condition. Like you going off talaga dapat. So I was just taking parang every opportunity that I can. If
Mm.
coach gives me parang time to play,
Mm.
I really put in the effort and work that needs to be done, and I want to get my job done.
Mhm.
So kung ano kailangan niya sa akin, like defense, make threes. So I gotta provide that. If I can provide that, then I'm gonna sit with him on the bench. He's a professional
Yeah.
coach. Like if you don't do your job,
Mm.
you're gonna sit on the bench.
Mm.
So if we have light practice, I really put time on being ready talaga. Like I gotta stop saying like. You just cut that. I gotta put in the work. It's just
Yeah.
that weight room training because I'm young and I'm up against dudes that are 32, 33 and they're
Mm.
primes and they're big. So I want to be the strongest. I'm a point guard, but I have a goal that I want to be the strongest. I want to put in the work at gym and just being a tank out there, even if I'm a point guard.
Yeah, that's great. Like, you mentioned Drew Holiday. That's how he is. He posts up guards and he could, just turn around and
Yeah.
have like a short jumper. And that could easily, what, 8 to 10 points a game if you could get
Yes,
posted on the
sir.
block and turn around. So that's a great facet of your game if you do master it eventually and you flourish on it. So that's great for you, and that will be a different facet of your game that would differentiate you from the other guards in the league also. But then, yeah, moving on to the TNT thing, and you had Coach Chot. How about with off the court? Like, what do you admire about him that he has all these leadership seminars, so he knows how to motivate a unit, like to flourish as a team. It's not just individually. I think he has great communication, and
Yep.
great way to make you guys fulfilled and accept your roles and flourish in your roles. So for you, what do you admire the most, and what are some stories you could share about him?
Oh, he's a great motivator. And
Mm-hmm.
he's a true, parang totoo siya eh. Like on what he says, on what,
Mm-hmm.
lahat ng sinasabi niya talaga, like, if you don't do your job, you're gonna sit down beside me. If you can make
Mm-hmm.
shots, you're gonna sit down no matter who you are. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you mess up, even if you're the vet, you're gonna hear from him.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter who you are on the team, but as long as you don't do your, basta you don't, if you don't do your job, you're gonna hear from him.
Mm-hmm.
So I really appreciate that the most. And also we have this parang system sa team, hindi naman system, pero you have this culture na I can really talk to Kuya Jason, I can talk to Kuya Ryan, Kuya Kelly. I can even call them out
Mm-hmm.
if they're not doing their job, like if they're not running back on defense, like I can call them out. So
Mm-hmm.
we have that culture that I can really converse to them, talk to them,
Mm-hmm.
and the culture that Coach Chot brings sa team namin sa TNT, like I really appreciate it. I love it. And it's a process pa rin eh. We're
Mm-hmm.
still not done on what we want to achieve, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. How about with Mikey and Jason Castro? I mean, they're a great tandem in the guard position. I'm pretty sure you get to defend them a lot in practice. What makes the two of
Mm,
them so exceptional and so impressive? And especially like in the finals and the semis, they were like practically unguardable.
mm. I mean, I only have one statement for Q Jason, best point guard in Asia. That's enough. That's
Yeah.
already enough, I think.
Yeah.
And Mikey, wow, he's a special talent, and di ko pa siya na-depensan sa practice eh. Not that
Oh,
much. Kasi it was sa season, like, yeah, you're gonna defend him, but not really like go at him
yeah.
talaga na hard.
Mm.
I wanted sana sa pag sa off season, I'm looking forward pag off season eh. Kasi like he's the top guards here in the Philippines right now, and I'm looking forward to defend him because he's really crafty with the ball, with a
Mm-hmm.
pull up, and he's really skilled.
Yeah. And you mentioned about Jason, like, yeah, he's a best point guard in Asia. And people might say na parang, hindi naman nagsasalita yan, like, hindi siya vocal leader. So, paano siya nagiging parang, what do you call this? Paano kayo nag-i-influence sa kanya? Paano niya nag-galvanize kayo? Siyempre, meron siyang style din na contrary to kumar Jimmy Alapag when he was still playing for TNT. Magkaiba sila ng style. Pero with Jason, what does he do siguro in order for you guys to be under his wing?
Oh, he's our leader. Um, Baka kala nila siguro na tahimik siya, pero when it comes to team and practice, he talks. And
Mm.
mm, I don't want to say this, but yeah. He helps me. I ask questions with him.
Mm.
We became close kasi nung sa bubble eh, since we really see each other every
Mm.
time and hanging out sa rooms na ni Coach Del. So
Mm.
constant conversations, and I think that built the trust. And syempre iba pag you get to know the person and on who they really are, so it's easier to talk to them. And
Mm.
yun yung maganda sa team eh. And na parang ay, parang malambot yung feeling with one
Mm.
another. Parang ganun. Yeah. I don't know how to
Yeah. Yeah. I
describe it, but
understand.
yeah.
Yeah. How about the crucial series against San Miguel? What stood out from you guys, especially in Game Seven when you blew them out? Like what separated you from a powerhouse team like San Miguel, and you guys showed how much of a great team you guys were, despite them being, you could say, more talented, more
Yeah.
star-studded. But then you guys, your team aspect, you guys were different.
Yeah. Coach keeps on telling us na talent by talent, we really cannot go up against them.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of the best uh, group of talents that are
Mm-hmm.
there in the Philippines, and
Mm-hmm.
they're 5P champs, and they have June Mardin. But the
Mm-hmm.
only way for us to beat them is pag team kami. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
coach said that sinabi rin ni coach amin na sometimes our best might be enough. My our best might not be enough in beating that
Yeah.
team, even if we do our best. So parang ganun. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just process talaga all throughout that series, watching film, motivating each other, and just really wanting to win and being a team. We had lots of struggles then, but
Oh, injuries
eventually we
like your
prevailed.
bigs, diba?
Yeah,
Your
we
bigs
didn't
got
have
injured.
bigs, but then it opened up a lot for us. Poi played well, and his
Mm-hmm.
shooting gave space to all of us, gave driving
Mm-hmm.
lanes to us, and our defense.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, grabe yung team na to, sobrang talented and malaki yung future with Coach Chot at the helm, and they're gonna be one of the powerhouses. Pero ikaw, like before we end, like do you have any things that fans should look forward to you individually and TNT as a team? I mean, the next few conferences and few seasons. Yeah.
Um, Going back, if I'm gonna come back, I'm excited. Look forward that I'll come back to play anytime soon
Mm-hmm.
and give that all-out effort, especially on defense. Then with the
Mm-hmm.
team, expect us to play hard each and every game. Expect us to uh, improve each game, and we look forward and hopefully seeing back the crowd again. But if not, we just really want to play. We miss playing. We miss practicing,
Mm-hmm.
being practiced. So I think that's it for now.
Yeah. So before we end, I'd want to thank you again, Kib, for joining me here in my podcast. These are just
Yeah,
questions that I normally ask my guests regularly when
yeah.
they come on the show. And one is like, what's your favorite game like for LaSalle? Like, is it the champ? Which if it's the championship game, maybe something else, like something that would stick out to you, because the championship might be the easy answer to it, like
Yeah.
the two championships you got.
Mm, I love my game kaso we lost against Ateneo wherein I had 9 steals.
What season
Yung
was that again?
yung season ng champion year, pero yung talo, yung one loss,
Oh, okay.
that
Isa
was the
Araneta ata.
time that I had 9 steals.
Wow, nine steals.
So nine
Yeah.
or yeah, I think yeah, it was 7 in the first half. So that was memorable sa akin, but man, we lost, so I really don't count that.
Yeah.
Memorable? What else? Well, championship talaga easy. Yun yung ano
Yeah.
eh. Pag
Baka yung
playoffs talaga yung championship.
comeback
Yeah,
against
game two, game
Adamson.
two. No, no, no. Come back against
Last
Ateneo.
Tineo.
Game two ng
Yeah.
2017.
17, I think.
Yep,
Yeah.
I love
I
that
think you
game.
guys were down by like 20 in the first half. I thought
21.
it was over. Yeah.
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 Para
So how
akong
about the
tanga
next
dun eh.
question? Yeah,
Para akong tanga
for sure.
nagmaganon-ganon. Pero yeah, we got that win. So I wanna put my voice into use. I'm finding my way eventually, and once I
Mm.
get that, find that, and I'm gonna use it really well. I'm starting that like basketball. Like I want to instill what what yung mindset ko, especially when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
injuries. I'm a type of player that deals with lots of injuries,
Mm-hmm.
and I know it's really hey, we can put this when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
injuries, the mentality of players. That's a type of platform that I want to build, like
Mm-hmm.
on helping you with mentality, on especially from the province. I want to help uh, athletes from the province on how they want to get here. It's not easy to get
Mm-hmm.
here, and
Yeah,
what
that's
are
my
the
asking you.
chances? Oh, like ano yung
Mm-hmm.
ratio ng provincial players getting here? I know madami sa PBA, but there's lots of basketball players who really want to go here and
Mm-mm.
get free education, have a better life.
Mm-mm.
So that's one platform that I want to really help them.
Mm. Yung next
But not in the
question is
political, yeah.
if the next question is if you have five people to have dinner with, dead or alive, who would you bring to the dinner?
Kobe. Five. I was only prepared for one, bro. Kobe. That's a tough question. Kobe. Kobe. LeBron.
Mm.
Kobe, his mentality. I want to know more
Yeah.
about it. LeBron on how he takes care of his body.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Steph.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, dinner. This is malayo to pero Jesus.
Okay. Oh yeah.
The yeah. The last one is five. Is mm, dinner. Who else? Who else? I want Coach NBA.
Okay. Yeah.
Popovich.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the final question I
Yeah.
have is, since you know that I just message people on social media to invite them on my podcast, and I've had a lot of athletes, a lot of basketball players like Caraco, Jason Perkins, and Bala, so many of uh the people that you were teammates with in LaSalle. And do you have any suggestions on who I could guest here on the podcast? Like, doesn't need to be basketball only. It could be any sport
Maljon.
that you want. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I haven't
I'm
guessed it in
close
that.
with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we can tell him. Kobe, definitely Kobe, because mentality. I got a Kobe friend here.
Yeah, yeah,
Kobe. It's all Kobe, man. I'm a huge
yeah.
Kobe fan.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's it. Kib, thank you for joining me here on
Yeah,
my
thank you for
podcast.
having me. And again, sorry, bro. You've been messaging me since last year. I really didn't see it. My
It's
bad,
okay.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have any final message before you go?
Um, right now, wala. I'm just chill. Yeah. That's. I think what I said to interviews are enough, na.
Okay, sige.
Yeah.
Is it okay if we take a picture na lang before you
Yeah,
go?
sure. Let's go.
Okay, sige. I'll take it from here. One, two, three. Okay, thank
All
you so
right.
much again,
Thank
Kib,
you,
for
bro. I
joining
appreciate
me.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
See you. Bye
See
bye.
you. Bye bye.